804 Approved types of conduits. Standard service lateral conduits shall be Schedule 40 or Schedule 80 PVC with all elbows required to be Schedule 80 PVC. Where there is possibility of physical damage to the service lateral conduits, Schedule 80 PVC shall be installed for the entire conduit system. Note: refer to Section 600 where the service lateral originates from a distribution riser pole. 804 Two size of conduits. The size of service lateral conduits to apartment buildings shall be as specified for the job by the CPS Energy customer service representative and will be based on length, number of bends, and the type and number of conductors that CPS Energy will install. Typically, all conduits from pad mount transformers or riser poles to modular metering equipment or single position meter sockets shall be 3-inch unless otherwise specified by CPS Energy. All elbows utilized with 3-inch conduits shall have a minimum radius of 24 inches. 804 3 Depth of conduits. Conduit trench shall be of adequate depth and width to accommodate minimum conduit dimensions with 24 inches of coverage on top of conduits in private properties and a minimum of 36 inches of cover in public right-of-way unless otherwise specified by CPS Energy. Note: where 4-inch conduit is specified by CPS Energy, or when elbows have a radius larger than 24 inches, the minimum cover shall be increased to 36 inches. 804 4 Number of conduits. A maximum of 2 conduits for service conductors will be permitted and each conduit shall contain 2 ungrounded, phase, conductors and 1 neutral conductor. Each conduit shall have the same physical characteristics. Exception: additional conduits that may need to be utilized for larger loads will require prior approval from CPS Energy. 804 5 Service lateral conduit routing. Underground service lateral conduits shall be totally outside the building and located to provide the shortest practical distance between the CPS Energy transformer and the meter loop. 804 6 Conduit connection to metering/service equipment. Customer shall terminate and secure service lateral conduits to metering or service equipment located on the outside of customer's building or structure in accordance with design approved by CPS Energy. CPS Energy will approve this location for termination of the service lateral conductors and as the point of delivery, pod. Customer shall furnish and install the necessary connectors for termination to equipment. 804 7 Conductor and conduit schedule. A conductor and conduit schedule shall be issued by the CPS Energy customer service representative that will specify the quantity and size of conduits and conductors required for each service lateral run. 804 8 Conduit locations at transformer pad. Customer shall closely coordinate the location of the underground conduits within CPS Energy's transformer pad opening. To facilitate this, customer shall review the job sketch provided by the CPS Energy customer service representative that shows buildings, transformer locations, and conduit routes with required easements. 804 9 Conduits reamed. Before any conduit is installed, the conduit ends shall be reamed. The entire raceway system shall be left clean and clear for installation of CPS Energy conductors. 804 10 Not permitted under buildings or structures. Underground service lateral conduits shall not be installed under buildings or structures. Customer shall install metering equipment and provide service disconnecting means and overcurrent protection before service entrance conductors enter into buildings or structures, refer to Section 400. Exception: CPS Energy will review proposed designs where special circumstances may require the use of meter rooms within the building for location of multiple metering equipment. Where CPS Energy approves such designs, customer shall be responsible for that portion of service conduits under the building or structure. Service conduits under the building or structure shall be installed as required to be considered outside of the building and shall terminate within 4 feet upon entering CPS Energy approved electric meter rooms. CPS Energy may require customer to install spare conduits and to locate meter rooms on exterior walls as close as possible to transformer poles. Refer to definition of conductors considered outside of building. 804.11 Under driveways, parking lots, and other drivable areas. Where service lateral conduits are to be located underneath a drivable surface, they shall be installed on spacers every 4 feet and be staked down at every 5 to 7 feet. In addition, the conduit installation shall meet the provisions outlined in 1 through 3 below. 1. Conduits where crossing under drivable surfaces shall be installed with a minimum cover of 24 inches in private property and a minimum of 36 inches in public right-of-way unless otherwise specified by CPS Energy. 2. Trench and conduits shall be backfilled with flowable fill up to no less than 6 inches of pavement surface. 3. An inspection by a CPS Energy inspector of all trenching and conduits will be required before backfilling. Refer to Article 804.14. Note 1. CPS Energy reserves the right to require removal of backfill and or flowable fill where customer backfills without first obtaining the required CPS Energy inspections. Note 2. CPS Energy shall not be responsible for any damage to driveways or other drivable areas as a result of trenching. 804.12 Conduit sleeves. Where customer needs to install sidewalks, driveways, parking lots, or streets prior to the installation of the service laterals and conduits, customer shall first obtain approval from the CPS Energy customer service representative and then shall install conduit sleeves in accordance with 1 through 6 below. 1. Sleeves shall consist of a 6-inch Schedule 40 or Schedule 80 PVC conduit installed on spacers every 4 feet and staked down at every 5 to 7 feet. 1 sleeve is required for each underground service lateral conduit specified by CPS Energy to be installed within trench. 2. Sleeves shall have a minimum cover of 24 inches in private property and a minimum of 36 inches in public right-of-way unless otherwise specified by CPS Energy. 3. Sleeves shall extend a minimum of 12 inches on each side of sidewalks, driveways, and parking lots and a minimum of 24 inches if located under streets. Conduit sleeves shall be capped at each end with an approved PVC cap. Customer shall mark on the surface the beginning and end of each sleeve location, with a stake, hub, pipe, or some other visible marker approved by CPS Energy. 4. Other utilities shall not be allowed in a sleeve installed for CPS Energy. 5. Trench for conduit sleeves shall be backfilled with approved materials in accordance with CPS Energy specifications. Note: for conduit sleeves installed under drivable surfaces, trench and conduit sleeves shall be backfilled with flowable fill up to no less than 6 inches of pavement surface. 6. All sleeve routes and locations require CPS Energy approval and inspections prior to backfilling. Refer to Article 804.14.